I'm here. I'm back. Like I never left. I'm not going to keep singing. Oh, it is time for a show. What happened? Here it is. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Monday, March 16th, 2020. My name's Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Wow. It's good. Well, stuff's going down. People are going crazy, losing their mind. And I'm going out shopping for sport. Not because I'm dismissive of what's going on, but because I won't react in panic. I have little to no contact with people at risk. And I'm not going to hole up inside more than I already do. Eggs. I went to Costco. And I resisted the urge to buy 2 big things of eggs, because I didn't need to. In fact, I would say if you took a look at my grocery shopping over the weekend, it was very restrained. Unlike plenty of other people. And so here we are. It's Monday. Things continue to happen. They will continue to happen. And yeah, we just got to make the decisions that make the most sense for us, for our families, when considering all the facts. Try not to tell you what is appropriate for you, because I don't know. To be honest, the media doesn't care. Which is to keep you watching. Of course, there are exceptions, but that's a generalization. Now, what else happened over the weekend? Shot the videos yesterday for the strength and conditioning program. Hopefully, we'll be able to edit those quick as soon as those are edited. That program goes live, and we will roll it out slowly. And the price is just going to go up slowly. So it's an incentive to get people to buy early. What else did I do? Slept. I think it was. Went to the gym. Went to a seminar at the CrossFit gym yesterday. Good weekend. Now it's Monday. And now we work. There's a lot of work. There's always a lot of work. But there's even more work. It just keeps piling up. It's not a bad thing. Job security. This Golda Meir. Do we want to get into those yet? Yeah, let's start with these. I'm not feeling like there's a lot to talk about without getting, I think there's cat hair on my beard, without getting super political. And I really try to separate the politics from our stuff here at Whistlekick. Oh, it's Monday. Is the episode out? Let's check. It is not out yet. I don't know what's up. All right, first quote. You'll never find a better sparring partner than adversity. Yeah. You know, the number of people who rise to the occasion, right? And maybe that even describes you. we're we're generally only as good as we have to be. So when life or another person hits us, that tends to bring out something more, something that we don't tap into unless we have to. When we talk about all of the horrible things that go on in the world and we feel the most confident, is this fact right here that human beings rise to the occasion. We do what has to be done. And no, maybe we don't. If you look at humanity over a wider block of time, you see that, yeah, we generally get it right eventually. And we get it right when we have to. And us as a species. You look at every alien movie, and what's the first thing that happens? Everybody on Earth just says, okay, we'll stop fighting each other now, and we'll fight them. You do what you gotta do. And, I don't think we've reached the worst part of what's going on with this illness right now. And I think that, yeah, through all that bad stuff, we're going to see some people doing some great things. There are already stories of people doing great things. I'm not including myself in this category because I said great things. But over the weekend, I did do a small thing, and that was I went out in town and had a drink at one restaurant and an appetizer at another restaurant and went to 4 different restaurants and shared it around. Last night, went out in a different town to a different restaurant and met a friend of mine there, and we were, for like an hour and a half of the patrons in the restaurant. I think there was at most 4 people for the first 90 minutes. Can't do it all, but do what we can. Adversity is a sparring partner. You're going to take some lumps, you're going to have a black eye, and you're going to learn from it. And then the next time you have to deal with something similar, you're that much better off. I have to blow my nose. Not being beautiful was the true blessing. Not being beautiful forced me to develop my inner resources. The pretty girl has a handicap to overcome. It's interesting to think about. But it's true, and fortunately none of them, to my knowledge, watch this show. But when I think about the pretty girls from my childhood, they did not develop personalities. They did not grow up to be substantive. For quite a few of them, their looks have faded. And when I look at the women that I went to school with, who honestly are the most beautiful, it's the women who started out developing their personalities. They grew into themselves, and now they're the complete package. They're everything. They're quality human beings with interesting lives and families, and I think that's pretty miraculous. I think we tend to overvalue certain things and undervalue other things. And let's face it, we have people who perpetuate that. When you tell a small child, you're so beautiful, you're so pretty. Okay, great. Now we've conditioned them that that's their value. That's what they have to give back to the world. Doesn't mean they're not. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't appreciate if your child or a child you know is a beautiful child. But just as there's this culture now shifting from telling people, oh, you look good or you've lost weight, to you look strong, you look healthy, which I fully endorse. Eventually you're going to have to make some changes with that with young children. Compliments should be about things that people have control over. If you want that behavior to continue. Congratulate children for working hard, not necessarily the results. If you tell them that they've done a great job because of the outcome, what if they didn't work hard to get there? You can use incentive to solidify the behavior patterns that you want, whether it's your child or if you're teaching children. When I teach martial arts, I try to let kids know, or anybody know, when I see their effort. It's the effort that I reward, not the outcome. It's the progress that I point to. And this is with the people on the competition team too. If I'm reviewing someone's form, there are people on the team who have impeccable forms. I still look for something to point to, and if their form isn't as good as the last time I saw it, hey, looks like maybe you haven't been practicing this. Even if that person could step in the ring and still win, I want to see them progressing. I want to see them getting better. That's what's most important to me. That's what should be most important to all of us. Because if we continue to progress, who knows where we get? If you get 1% better every time you do something, or heck, 1% better every week. Imagine that your martial arts gets 1% better every week that you practice. No, it doesn't feel like anything in the moment, and it doesn't even feel like anything month by month. But what does that look like over the course of a year? How many lifelong martial artists would love to be twice as good every 2 years? That's phenomenal. None of us are able to maintain that. Reward the behavior that you want. Ooh, I like this. I must govern the clock, not be governed by it. This is the thing that I'm working the hardest on right now, is time management and identifying what needs to be done, what should be done, what I would like to do but is not important. Finding balance and identifying which of those things gets me to the next milestone that gets me to the goal. And that's been my current challenge. That's my struggle. As evidenced by the fact that this show happens at 6:30 in the morning and not later, because this is when I have time to do it. There's a reason that I do things 6 to 7 days a week, because there's a lot to do. But if I'm really honest with myself, quite a bit of it doesn't matter. Quite a bit of it is just kind of holding, keeping us in a holding pattern. And that's why I continually look for what can I offload to somebody else, or what can I cancel, what can I stop, what do I have to try to do in a different way. This is an internal conversation that Gabe and I have been having for 6 months about Martial Arts Radio Live, because we're trying new things. How do we get this to grow? And we've got some new ideas for that show. We've kicked around a few things that we're going to play with that's exciting. Right? We're not ready to give up on that show, but if we take a look at the numbers, they're not what we want them to be. So you have to figure out what matters. And you have to have a plan. You don't plan. What's the quote that I like? You don't plan to. Nobody plans to fail. They just fail to plan. There's a better version of that with those words. I slept really well, but I'm still waking up. You ever wake up and realize that you have not moved since you laid down in the bed? I got into bed. I use a weighted blanket much of the time. And I lay down, and so the weighted blanket keeps me there. And I woke up at probably 5:30. I use one of those daylight alarm clocks, simulates a sunrise. And then it just started going off. And I realized, oh, I have not moved. Because I was laying on my side, and I very rarely sleep on my side. But I think I maybe twisted once or twice during the night. I was out. And that's what happens when you work a lot and hard every day. Don't let the clock control you. Tasks expand to the time available. If you have an hour to get something done, you will do an hour version. If you have 2 hours to get something done, maybe you'll do a 2-hour version. But most of us will do an hour version and take an hour of breaks. Think about how often you arrive at an appointment just in time, or you finish a project just in time. There's a reason for that. Don't let time control you. So what's today? Cat's getting acupuncture. Every time I say that, I'm aware of how silly that sounds, but it's kept her healthy. It's really benefited her quite a bit. And then I've got a number of calls and other consulting type things and some whistlekick things, and figure out where this morning's episode is. Probably be a long day. That's okay. It's good stuff. So let's wind down. All right. I think I'm going to stop assigning homework. If there's something I think really important that I want you to work on, I'll bring that up. But I think beyond that, I don't think it should be an everyday thing. There's enough that we have to do day to day. And if there's something that I talk about that you want to take further on your own, you should do that. But I don't think I have to find something every time. I think the original reason for coming up with homework was giving you a reason to stick around while I said the closing stuff. But you know what? If you're going to leave, you're going to leave. So this is where I do the closing stuff, and maybe you stick around and maybe you don't. Don't forget, we do this show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern here on YouTube. Subscribe, turn on notifications so you can be part of the show. If you have questions or comments, things you want me to respond to or answer about martial arts or life or anything that you're interested in my opinion on, go ahead, drop it below, and I will answer it tomorrow when we come on the show. If you want to support what we're doing here at Whistlekick, go to whistlekick.com, use the code FIRSTCUP15 to save 15% off, or be part of the Patreon, patreon.com/whistlekick, and you get even more content in exchange for your contribution. I hope you have a fantastic day. Stay positive, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.